I'm hungry. Are y'all hungry? I'm hungry. So today, we're gonna eat that frog. Thanks for checking out the video. Today we are doing my interpretation of the book Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. If you've been here before, you've watched one of my videos, give me a big thumbs up so that I know that you're back. And hey, appreciate the fact we got a new mic, we got a new setting, and I'm pumped up about it. So with that said, let's go ahead and eat that frog. Eat That Frog is all about efficiency. It starts out reminding us that we're never going to have time to get everything done and that we're always going to be behind. And that reminds me a lot of the book we already featured on this channel, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, about your inbox always being full, and when you die or when you leave that job or whatever the case is, someone else is going to take care of your inbox. So don't sweat the small stuff. Now Eat That Frog takes it from there and talks about how you need to set priorities and you need to focus on the biggest task of the day, the most important task, the task that's going to help you accomplish the most and really set the tone for the day. That's the task you're most likely to procrastinate on. That's the task you're likely to avoid. And that is your frog, and you got to eat that frog first thing in the morning. As Brian likes to put it throughout the entire book multiple times, eating a live frog, if someone told you you had to do it, that would by far be the worst thing you had to do all day. And the best way to go ahead and get it over with, just eat it first thing, because otherwise you're going to be dreading it all day. You're going to want to put it off and you're not going to want to do it. So knock it out first thing in the morning and then you're done with it. And that's like all your major tasks. You got to eat that frog. You got to get that task done right away. It's going to help set the tone for your day. It's going to make your day as productive, as effective, efficient as possible. So go ahead, eat that frog. Going back though, that we're always going to be behind. We're not always going to be able to get all our tasks done. And that's where we bring in Pareto's principle. Talked about this in the 4-hour work week, that you've got that 80-20 rule where 20% of your tasks are going to result in 80% of your output. So you've got to focus on the most important task, because activity is not accomplishment, but accomplishments are accomplishments. Focus on the most important task of the day, the ones that are going to get you the furthest along, that are going to give you the biggest outcome, the biggest output. That's what you need to focus on. Those are your frogs. And I know what you might be thinking. You don't want to do that, or you don't do that currently, but don't worry. This is a skill that can be learned, and it is and has been learned by many people over the years. You have to figure out how to prioritize your day though, and you've got to figure out how to be productive. Once you know that, or once you know either of those things, learning the other and then putting them together, that's the key. That is how you're going to be able to accomplish a lot. You're going to be able to be the most effective version of yourself. And if you don't know how to do it, don't worry. It's easy. Step by step, day by day, little by little is going to propel you forward. And if you make a list and you prioritize the items on that list by what's going to give you the greatest outcome, you're well on your way. One of my favorite quotes from the book that I keep using, it seems like daily ever since I picked it up, is time management is life management. It is personal management. See, time management is control over what you do next. You always have the free will to choose what you do. And having the management of your time to choose the most important task, to have time to do the most important task, to make time to do that most important task, that is how you will accomplish more and how you will be happier for doing it. There's so many great little takeaways. There's so many great topics that are covered in this book. Before I hop into the RORs, I guess I want to give you a couple of honorary takeaways that I got out of the book. The first one is procrastination is actually a good thing. The key with procrastination is procrastinating on the things that aren't important. You've got these big tasks. You need to get them done. You've got important tasks. You need to get them done. Like we talked about at the beginning, you're never going to catch up. I think Brian was saying he did some research. Most professionals operate at 120% of capacity anyway, and they still feel like they have more to do. You're never going to be fully caught up. Your inbox is never going to be empty. The goal is to procrastinate on the things you can procrastinate on and dominate and just complete all the tasks that you need to get done to maximize your efforts. The next little tidbit, next little takeaway, very brief, very small, is keep a positive attitude, keep a positive mindset. Look for the good in every situation. Always seek value in each situation. Always look for the solution to every problem. The most successful people in life are positive mindset individuals. So keep that in mind. But with that said, let's hop into our big RORs for the day. As you know, I believe every book we read is an investment in our own self-development, and I like to call those dividends that we get back our returns on reading, or ROR for short. So ROR number 1 is considering the future and taking the long view yields better results in the long run. Successful people make decisions for the long run. They make short-term sacrifices. You've heard this before. Sacrifice today to have a better tomorrow. You know the saying. Here's the thing though, you hear it all the time. You know that it's true. And think about it. Eat healthy today, live a healthier life, live a longer life. Don't get the burden of diabetes. Don't get the burden of kidney issues. Hereditary issues aside, I got high cholesterol, hereditary issues, nothing I can do about it. But if I'm eating better, I'm exercising better, and I'm taking my meds, I'm giving myself a better chance than if I'm just out there eating chocolate cake and ice cream for all my meals. Example number 2, don't drink that Starbucks today. Go ahead, take that $5, invest it in the stock market. Did you know if you invest $5 every day, I'm 33, $5 every day for 27 years, so that would take me to age 60, that's less than a $50,000 investment, and the S&P for the last, since 1928, 1929, has yielded a 10% average. The return on that is over $252,000, 5 times your investment. Sacrifice today, think of the long term, you're going to have greater results. ROR number 2, I already told you my favorite quote, and this was one of my big takeaways. Time management is life management. All these things are such common sense. Think about it for a moment. When everything in your life is going great and you feel like you are on top of the world, you can accomplish anything, you are accomplishing everything, not only the big things, but the little things. It's because likely you're planning things out and you're knocking those big things out first and foremost. And once those are out of the way, the dominoes start falling and you've got the time to do the little things. And what about when your life isn't going so great and you feel like things are out of control and you feel like you can't accomplish even the little things? It's probably because you're putting off that big task and you're thinking about it constantly and you know you should be doing it. And while you're trying to distract yourself with other activities that make you feel busy, you're doing little things that don't really impact the bigger picture, and you're not even doing those as efficiently as you can because you're still thinking about your major to-do list that you're just putting off and trying to avoid. So if I leave you with nothing else from this book, just remember, time management is life management. And ROR number 3, successful people take full responsibility. Successful people always ask themselves the question, what is it in me that is holding me back? See, they look to themselves as both the cause and the solution to their problems. Do you do this? Maybe you do it from time to time, or maybe you do it all the time. Maybe you don't do it at all. Maybe you are as successful as you think you should be. Maybe you aren't as successful as you want to be. I don't know, but this could be one of those areas that you need to look at yourself, look in the mirror and say, am I taking both responsibility for the cause and the solution of my problems. I feel like a lot of people in our society today definitely don't look to themselves for the cause of their problems. They are very quick to blame others, and if they can't be quick, well, they're definitely going to look for somebody to blame, even if that takes them a while. And a lot of people out there don't look to themselves for the solution to their problems. They look at the person they're blaming for why they have a problem. Maybe they're looking towards their boss, their spouse, their family, their friends, somebody to come in and fix their problem. Maybe the person they always complain to, hey, how do I fix this? Hey, what can you do to fix this for me? That's not the way you do it as a successful individual. You've got to look at yourself as the cause and the solution to your problems. And why are people that do this so successful? Because they eat that frog. Because they don't waste time blaming others. They don't waste time looking for somebody else or waiting for somebody else to give them the solution. They figure out the problem, they figure out a solution for the problem, and they move forward. Whether that's something they need to stop doing, something they need to start doing, or a completely different thing that will be the solution to their problem. But they figure out the issue, they figure out a solution, and they move forward. They eat that frog, so they move on and eat the next frog. I really like the book. I think Eat That Frog is really motivating. I think it's got a great message. There's not a lot of stories in it. It's just a lot of information, but a really quick read, a really quick book, and not a lot of fluff in it. The one knock I would have, and you've probably noticed me saying it a lot in this video, is the phrase "eat that frog" is repeated over and over in the book. I mean, it's already a short book, but I feel like you could knock out like 10 to 15 pages if you completely got rid of having to constantly repeat, eat that frog, eat that frog. But it does drive it home. So double-edged sword there if you get rid of it. But that would be my only knock. Otherwise, it's a really great book. If you made it this far in the video, I'm guessing you enjoyed it. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please consider doing so. And if you found value in this video, please feel free to share it with a friend or a group of friends or on your social media. I would greatly appreciate it. It would really help this channel out. And with all that said, hey, I gotta go. I'm still hungry. I'm gonna go eat that frog.